Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Another week. Another week, another dollar. Let's think of a, a weekly quote. But we had a bit of a volatile week, I suppose. I did manage to buy some more spot buys this week. Last week, I was on the stream with Mo and we talked mindsets and long term plans. I thought today I'd elaborate a little bit more on that, and possibly if you have completely different strategies, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to compare notes, if you will. I I did some spot buys this week, but other than that, I think I had a pretty calm week actually. And I saw a lot of people panicking with leverage trades, and I'm trying to do the stress-free approach to all this. And I'm thinking the stress free way for me this week was fine. Made some nice profits. I cashed out a little bit. We did good. We did really good. A little thirsty though. So thank you for bearing with me. And let's grab let's share my screen. And this is the one. There we go. Coin market cap, home base. We're still in very neutral territory. Still 3.6 sideways movements, which was to be expected. And like if we look at the long-term history of Bitcoin, like I'm thinking we're going to see something similar here. Obviously, it already is similar, but I'm expecting at least a little push up past this line, like around 120K. Just quickly noticing some message. No, not important. But I'm expecting us to go around 120K. So around the February line is where I expect us to go. End of February, beginning of March, like last year before that, both were months that we were actually pumping quite high. I'm expecting something similar to happen. And with Trump in power, basically with massive speculation, volume, volatility, I think this is definitely doable. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hit that. And considering like Ukraine, Russia is starting to wind down. I heard North Korea troops are falling back. Israeli hostages being released, possibly the Gaza conflict calming down. All things which globally stabilize the world a little bit, which I think will do financial markets, will do good for financial markets. So if we're looking like 120K for the first line of defense of Bitcoin, basically, I'm thinking it's definitely possible. And I'm aiming towards this. So even if we go down, I will be buying more and I will be taking profits around this area. For now, I'm not taking any profits. I'm just doing my monthly dollar cost averagings, my monthly buy-ins. If something does really pump high, like some altcoin, I do take a little bit of profit, but depending on the percentages. Sorry, I'm really, really thirsty. I had a bit of an active day. Let's call it that. I'm highly competitive, and we were doing some paddle. So I got wrecked. I lost, but I ended up thirsty. All right. If we go to the crypto bubbles for this month, or this week, really, it was a bad week. But as I keep reiterating to basically anyone that will listen to me, these red weeks are good. These red weeks are the time where I'm buying. I'm buying everything I hold, everything that's in my portfolio. If I think it's dropped enough, like virtual, I added more to my virtual position, 20% discount. I'll take it any day. I bought some Sui as well, but I think Sui's up actually since I bought it quite considerably. I think yeah, it could overall still be down, but I'm up from my last buy. I forgot the price out of the top of my head, but when we dipped down, I bought more. Let's grab the chart of Sui real quick. All right, so it's up. It's not up hugely, but I bought Sui a few days ago, right at that little. I bought it here. I didn't manage to catch the absolute bottom, but that's something that's near impossible. Not a lot of people will be able to accurately time it. But for a spot buy, I think that's very good. Last spot buys were around this area, so yeah, I think it's a golden buy actually. Considering it's up, I mean, I could take profits if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I tried to use this Bitcoin DCA calculator, but it's flawed because it's not accurately predicting the overtime. So I will look for a different one because I keep reiterating my basic strategy, which will work for anyone. The basic dollar cost averaging, long time, overtime, like the reality is not every one of us will be a good trader. Not everyone can be, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why, I mean, I was reasonably good at it, but it cost me so much time that I lost touch with friends. I couldn't focus on work anymore, and it started taking over my life, and I didn't want that. So now I'm doing all year over year almost the same profit margin with just DCA and spot buys. I do trade a little bit here and there though. Some meme coins, some low risk bets, but yeah, the reality is we can't be good at everything. So be better at what you are good at. Focus on your strengths. Ah. Kind of lost. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So if we look at our dollar cost averaging over time, I got the monthly Bitcoin chart here over several years. So let's say this pattern will repeat itself. Massive pump, we go down. Massive pump, we go down. Smaller pumps, pump down. And it actually looked similarly, but you could say we are way overbought on Bitcoin at this point because we zoom out, we're looking at longer term, and we're already starting to see this drop, just like here and just like here, basically just like here as well. We're seeing these, and especially this one. We are also already saw massive sell-offs, massive selling pressure, and now we're at this level. So if history, which especially with crypto tends to repeat itself, so let's say something similar to this happens, and we draw a quick line, you can overlay it. You can see that it's almost near identical. Here it's bounced back a little earlier, but let's say something similar to that happens here. Now it's not too weird, too strange to say that these two candles get pushed back down. This is basically all Trump volume. Now, I'm not saying the Trump volume will die down very quickly, but it could happen. And for dollar cost averaging spot buys, this is absolutely golden. This line would be, well, it's actually It's yellow. You could call it a golden line, actually. If we do see a big sell-off in Bitcoin again, and we go back all the way down to that 73K, possibly even, I won't say 58, but let's say it does hit 60K. I think 60 is even putting it royally, but let's say it does. For your spot buys that on Bitcoin alone, let alone the altcoins, because if Bitcoin goes, the altcoins follow. But if that happens and you manage to catch that, that will be, and it does go, it does bounce back. Then you have a 75% gain on Bitcoin alone without leverage, with just doing spot buys. And if you keep buying and it goes up sooner, there's nothing wrong with that as well, because you're either way you end up in profit. The only thing is you got to have that resolution to keep buying on those ways down, and that's where basically everyone fails. People YOLO all their cash in at the top, Bitcoin starts dropping, and people start panic selling, and that's when it drops even more dramatically, and people end up losing because they sell. They lose tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then they swear off crypto for good because crypto is a scam, blah 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 blah. And the reality is, if you buy an asset which you think will do well over time, and if you buy a volatile asset especially, you keep buying it, that's where millions are made. That's where you make your fortune, not buying the top. You make your fortune buying the way to the bottom, because no one knows the exact bottom. We keep buying all the way until it stops going down. And that's what it requires, the resolve to do that. And not everyone has that. I mean, to each his own. Some people trade in and out. Some people try to day trade, swing trade, whatever. Or they don't buy Bitcoin, they just buy ETH, to which I think the same theory applies. But this is my vision in a nutshell. And if you, let's grab a different screen real quick. Oh. Let me grab real quickly. I think I used it in the stream last week, the compound interest calculator. And I mean, I'm a massive fan of it because it makes it very simple. And the truth is, it is simple. It's not hard. The mentality of it is harder than the actual strategy. If once again, if we invest 5,000, let's say, I think a lot of people will have that 5,000. Some people won't. That's completely fine as well. To each his own amount you're willing to invest, and as long as you keep DCAing in, any amount is fine. The $5,000 is not the important part. But let's say $5,000. Bitcoin tends to do around 100% yearly, with some years obviously going further down, but that magnifies the effect on the way up even more. So if you make it work to your advantage, it will. But let's say 5 years, interest rate of 100%, and we keep putting in $500 every month, just in Bitcoin. If you stick to this plan, and Bitcoin, I mean, it could take 6 years, it could take 7 years, it could take 3 years, depending on how high those swings are. But if we each year end up making 100% on our investment, and we keep adding that $500 every month, then there is no reason why you should not be able to achieve this. The only thing is you have to have that fortitude, that mental strategy, and set it and do it. And that's why I don't focus on charts daily. I don't focus on charts even hours at a time. I look very quickly. I look at what crypto is doing this week or this month, and I could use the crypto bubbles for that. So I see the week is red, the month is green. So let's see what the week has done. So virtual down 20%. A 20% drop in an asset I spot buy into, I dollar cost average into, 20% drop is an instant buy for me. I don't even look at why it dropped, or at least I don't do that a lot of the times. Sometimes I look, but more because I'm interested. But strategy wise, I think virtual over time will perform well. So any bad news, whatever is happening now, I don't care. 20% drop, instant investment, instant buy. And I hold money on the side. I keep around 30% cash. So I have those funds to move more money in. Now, it depends on the drop, the size I invest, depends on the drop it makes, the asset, how the asset moves. But I bought virtual and SUI, but SUI dropped considerably more, but bounced back up. But my SUI investment is already way up in profit, even. So even if you wanted to trade it short term without leverage, you could actually make a decent living out of it, depending on with how much you trade. Uh, but once again, that's to each his own. That's different for every single person. Um, and let me just do one quick thing. And let me just post a link. Let's see if we can get a few more viewers in. Ah, someone else had the exact same idea I had and posted my link. Samurai, thank you. But yeah, I figured let's try to get some more people in here and talk a little bit more crypto shop. Let me just post a question. All right. I have around 15 minutes left. I'm reading the chat from the Discord, but I think the whole week's been slow. I think the last few weeks have been slow, actually, because I've been calling it for a few months, weeks, I suppose, that basically Bitcoin, this one, let me grab my Bitcoin chart real quick. But yeah, we're in this sideways movements, and yeah, it did break all-time highs, but even then it immediately bounced back. So for now, I suspect we'll be stuck in this sideways movements a little bit more. Like last year, February, March, we saw a big shift in volume. We saw a big price bump. I'm expecting us to hit that 120K. Then I think we could. I think it's very possible, especially with all the Trump hype still in the markets. I think 120K is definitely doable, but yeah, I think higher than that could take a longer time. I think we will see some bigger sell-offs, and that's what I was talking about in this chart. Like if we look at the previous years, massive pumps, we see these corrections, and I mean this pattern, if it does repeat itself, we're due for a very big correction. And I think that's also why the market's slow. Everybody's kind of looking like, where are we headed? What's happening? Obviously, all the Trump hype was not expected, at least not to the extent it had, I suppose. So I think bigger parties are also sitting on the sidelines, just waiting to see what happens. And if anyone has a different view, I feel free to post a comment, ask a question, preferably on the YouTube channel, so I can actually reiterate in the chat. But yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' vision on it. Like for the people who weren't in here a little like 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago, I was talking about doing my spot buys and this little line here. So let's give that a blue color. So if Bitcoin does all revert all the way back to before the Trump influx of money, basically, if we do go all the way back to that 70, possibly 60K level, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually hoping happens because I have more cash available now than I had the last time we were there, because I was remodeling my house and I couldn't invest as much as I wanted to. But if we do go down, I will be buying all the way down here, there, possibly even here. Like the lower we go, the better, in my opinion. Especially considering the global market shift to crypto in general. Ah, so there's a user in the Discord, Leisurefish, saying, I'm taking some time off from trading, need to reset, come back with a fresh mind." I did the same thing a few years ago. I was trading Forex, crypto, heavy leverage, like 500x leverage on Forex and whatever, using trading bots, expert advisors, which are trading bots for MetaTrader, which is a trading program. I used all kinds of algorithms, and it completely washed me out. Like I made massive, massive amounts of profits. I had a lot of affiliates selling services, whatever. But eventually, like the pressure got to me, and I started over trading. I end up losing quite a bit of money as well. Not everything, but I thought to myself, like, this is not the way. Not everybody is cut out to be a 24/7 day trader. We all want to be, but the reality is we won't be. So I started to shift, like, where are my strengths, my personal strengths, and yeah, focus on that. Like, nobody is good at everything, but you can be very good at what you're normally good at. You can improve on what you're already good at, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, I applaud taking people taking time off from trading. I applaud it. Like, don't if you keep staring blindly at charts, you will start to make mistakes. You will start to see things that just aren't there. And that's why I'm not very big on all kinds of patterns. I focus more on naked price action, like look at what prices are doing. Like for this monthly instance, then it's very highly likely to see another one of these big candles anytime soon. But then again, if we zoom in on the shorter term, we see all these little levels. It could also very well bounce, and I'm actually expecting us to see a little bit higher movement before lower. But any one of us can be wrong. Nobody knows for sure, and that's why I also like my dollar cost averaging, my spot buys, because if we go up, I take profits. If we go down, I get to buy more. And as long as I'm able to financially finance my spot buys every month, which at this point I am, then I have nothing to worry about. Like the lower we go, for me, it's better, especially considering I'm not thinking about cashing out for the next 5 years at least. So that's, yeah, my personal belief in it. And it makes for very stress-free trading. Like I'm very stress-free. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but yeah, I look at the charts sometimes daily, but generally I look like once or twice a week, especially if we have very volatile movements like these periods. Obviously, I look more often, and I look to take some quick trades here and there as well. Obviously, I also trade a little meme here and there, but yeah, those are all quick in and out. But for my long term plan, yeah, I'm not that bothered. Like I bought all the way through this. Like all these little red movements. I cleaned up my chart a little while ago, sadly. This was for a video I did, but I had spot buys here, I had spot buys here, I had spot buys here. And like if you zoom out, you see the effect that it's magnified. And Bitcoin for now, well, especially in the near future, will be an appreciating asset. We're not sure about the amount, but if uh, let's say the United States start a treasury in Bitcoin, it's very, very highly likely to assume they would not do that if they weren't sure it was going to appreciate in value. So longer term appreciating in value why not catch that wave? Why not trade it with them? Like, we're all very small players. All we have to do is follow the big players. So it's a completely different style of trading from actively leverage trading, day trading, or low leverage swing trading. I do that from time to time, but yeah, I'm thinking we're in due for a big correction, and I don't want to catch the wrong end of that. So for now, I'm not. But yeah, as Samurai said, uh, the market's slow. I think for now it will be slow. I'm thinking end of February is when we will see, like in 2 to 3 weeks, probably we will see some movement return, and I'm kind of anticipating that. So I have a lot of cash on the side, and I'm waiting. I'm just waiting, both on my stock portfolio and on my crypto portfolio. That's the beauty of dividend stocks, by the way. You get cash regardless. All you have to do is hold it. And my personal aim is to move everything into dividend stocks over time and basically live off of the dividends. I mean, that's the global dream, I suppose. Or at least to be able to live off of dividends. I wouldn't retire even if I could. A, I'm too young, and B, I want to stay active. Like, you need some activity in your life. You need structure and routine, I suppose. You need to have, and I like the social aspect of a job, actually. It's probably very different from some people. I know there's people out there with jobs that absolutely suck, but for now, I'm actually in a very good place. And yeah, I actually left a job drink. Like, a colleague of mine is leaving. We had a little party drink before, just before this live stream. So, and the fact that almost everyone showed up, I mean, that it shows the atmosphere generally. But I I read a lot of Reddit and like anti work forums, and a lot of people are not as blessed as I am, I suppose. So we have a few minutes left. If anyone has a question for me or something they want to share or something they want to talk about, feel free. Like, comment sections are wide open. Feel free, or if in the chat or in the Discord, you can add me if you want to talk in there. Feel free. I think, did everyone see this in the last stream last week? Like, an initial investment of $5,000. Bitcoin tends to do 100% a year. Obviously, not every year, but for the sake of this example, talk about the massive correction. So you meant this one? Sam says the world is going to fall. The Sam Bear Moon. Well, that could actually. I'm not. I usually ignore those bearish moon signs, but I see in the stream it's very hard to see this. But yeah, that could actually work out. I'm kind of hoping it does. Yeah, yeah. We see a drop, but we also see a big move up, and generally up. I might be I might be biased though because of my spot buys. I tend to make money in that month or the end of that month. But yeah, if we zoom out, you can see like these big. Are they February? No, they're later. They're much later. See, like February 21, massive push up. Even February 22, it's green. It did drop, but it also went back up. And if we go to 23, we see February volatile, but in general still green. So it did go up and it's continued to go up. And I've been saying February, March for a while now. And check last year, February, March. Now I'm hoping, I'm kind of betting, guesstimating that the same will happen this year. I'm looking at pattern, but because crypto is very, crypto in general is very related to patterns. That's true. Every bull we did have a fall, but the sizes are the sizes of the falls, drops, and rises, they vary. And the higher the market cap of crypto of Bitcoin goes, the smaller I guess they will become. But like I said, either way for me is fine. If we go up, great, I get to take more profits. If we go down, great, I get to buy more cheaper. Like either I'm hoping Bitcoin to drop massively because I want to buy more because I wasn't able to buy these prices as much as I wanted. I did buy them, but not as much as I wanted. So yeah, I'm hoping we go back to these levels. Not a lot of people will agree with me. But yeah, for me personally, that would be a good move because I can move more money in quicker. But if we go up, that's completely fine too. Then from the assets I do have, I'll take profits, massive profits, even if we see another one of these candles. All right, so we're past the 30 minutes. If anyone has a question for me, feel free to ask them. Like I said, in the Discord or in the YouTube chat, either way is fine. If you have something you want to share or something you want to talk about, I can do a little 5 minutes extension, I suppose. And if not, I'll say have a great weekend. And yeah, if you are burnt out on crypto and if you are starting to lose money with day trading and swing trading, like mindset is so important. If you take a little break from crypto, I applaud it. It's what got me back on my right mind of not trading, investing. It's what got me my plan that I still use today. And it can be a week, it can be a month, it can be a year. Like you do you, to each his own. But if you trade while being fearful, uncertain, constantly doubting yourself, not knowing what you're doing, then yeah, I would steer away from trading. All right. Well, I don't see any comments. I don't see any questions. I think I'm going to close out the stream for this week, guys. I enjoy doing these streams. If you want to help me out, leave a like and subscribe on my channel if you can. Helps me out massively. And yeah, I'm still relatively new. I'm trying to grow my channel as quickly as I can. The bigger I get, the more I'm able to stream and the more I'm able to, yeah, talk to you guys. All right, guys, I'd say have a great weekend. And yeah, let's see you next week.